Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Raiz Super. I'm one of the senior investment managers here at Sharewise, and we're here with Brendan Malone, the CEO and executive director of Raiz Invest. Now, Brendan's been kind enough this morning to give us a presentation running through a bit of an overview from Raiz, as well as the Q4 financial year 2024 results. I think they're currently unaudited, but we really appreciate the run through and really appreciate the expertise, Brendan. So thank you very much. As always, there'll be a Q&A after the presentation. Now, obviously, I've got a couple of questions just to kick us off with, but if any participants would like to submit questions throughout the presentation, please do so through the Q&A function on Zoom, and I'll ask them to Brendan after the presentation. Brendan, thank you again for your time. It's all yours.
Brilliant. Thanks, Ryan. And it's great to be here with the Sharewise team. And I'm very excited. As you mentioned, we did release our quarterly 4C for the June 2024 quarter end an hour or so ago. So very happy to run through those at the end of the presentation. But what I thought I would do to start with is sort of set the scene about what is Raiz, especially if there's anyone that's joined that hasn't heard of or seen Raiz before. And the Raiz app was built on two core principles, and it was to invest small amounts regularly, but to give customers a way to save within their lifestyle. If you think about things, if you tell someone that they can't do something or they have to change their lifestyle, they might do it for a month or two and then it fails or stops. So we built this system under two core principles: small amounts over time add up, and we don't necessarily change the lifestyle of individuals, especially the millennials and the Gen Zs these days. And to set the scene, both the results over the last 12 months, or the last 24 months in particular, and the milestones that the business has achieved shows that customers out there today are looking for technology solutions to leverage or lean on to help with this, to fit in with their lifestyles, but also at the moment to deal with the cost of living issues and concerns that are out there. So that was just a very quick set the scene. I'm going to run through 4 or 5 slides on the business and what the actual business is and the why of Raiz, and then we'll jump into the Q4 results from the 4C that was released this morning, and then we'll go to question time with Ryan. So introducing Raiz Invest. Raiz Invest empowers all Australians with hands-on financial experience and education. And I think there's some slides coming up that we'll talk further to on this, but it is that in the palm of the hand, getting financial education and experience straight away. And that's the biggest education learning that we've seen over the last 8 years of the operations. So to break it down, Raiz allows customers to invest from as little as $5 into a diversified portfolio of assets. Those assets, underlying assets in the portfolios, ETFs, all quoted on the ASX, Bitcoin. We have our own Raiz residential property fund, and then selected ASX listed stocks. We also have a personal finance management tool called My Finance. And around this whole product too, that's the retail investing. We also have a superannuation product. So your SCG or voluntary contributions or anything like that can come into a Raiz Invest Super product. The underlying 9 portfolios we offer are 5 risk-based portfolios from conservative to aggressive. One underlying theme you'll see through our presentations over the last couple of years, but also today, is that we listen to our customers. And that is so important. When we first launched with the 5 risk-based portfolios, our customers asked for a socially responsible investment theme. That they wanted to invest in what they believed in. So we built the Emerald portfolio, and that fast became one of our most popular portfolios. We, again, at the same time, customers were asking us, what's this crypto? How do I do it? I don't want to get involved in hot and cold wallets and things like that, or 16-digit passwords. How can we get experience or an understanding of crypto in a controlled environment? So we spent a lot of time working on this product with the local regulators here in Australia to offer the Sapphire portfolio, which includes a 5% allocation, capped at 5% of allocation into Bitcoin. So people could have an understanding, and it's sort of say, cool, now I know what it is. I can watch it. I can understand how it works, but it's capped at 5% of my portfolio. We also, over the last couple of years, bought in the Raiz Property Fund, which gives, it's the only superannuation, in particular, the only superannuation product that has exposure to Australian residential property. And then we've moved that, originally was a superannuation offering, and now it's back into the retail offering as well. And then August last year, one of the innovations that we developed whilst readjusting the wider business was this Raiz Plus portfolio. Our customers were saying, great, thank you. I've become a customer. I'm in conservative. I've moved up the chain or the risk curve. Now I would like to do it a bit better. have a bit more experience in going to a different class of assets. So we created this Raiz Plus portfolio, and as of today, this month in July, we've added some more assets into there, more investment choices. We have 150 investment choices where a customer can create their own portfolio or weight their own portfolio. And, you know, it's a very, listening to our customers, it's a very hard thing to do if you started with a blank piece of paper. So what we've done is we've said you can use one of our previous portfolios as the base, and then you can chip away and create new portfolios to get experience and sort of hands-on experience. And that has become very popular. And as I run through the results for the June quarter, you'll see the growth in that Plus portfolio. And as of 2 days ago, very excited to announce that that Plus portfolio option is now live in the superannuation offering as well. So a little bit of history. We launched in Australia in 2016, so just over 8 years or 8.5 years ago, and we listed on the ASX under the ticker RZI in June 2018. As of the 25th of July, as of yesterday, we have over 1.41 billion in funds under management and over 308,000 active customers in Australia. To explain the demographics, I thought I'd show this as a visual representation of where our engaged customers were. And what we are trying to achieve here is to be that financial services product from cradle to grave. We have our Raiz Kids, we work through our Gen Zs, Millennials and Gen X and Boomers, and there's a product, and as that curve goes, is provide a financial services solution to everybody through their age movement, but also their lifestyle as well. So we've built a pipeline through Raiz Kids where we attract early engaged parents and grandparents, uncles and aunties, and create that brand awareness. We're the market-leading product in Australia for first-time investors, because it is, as I said at the start, for as little as $5, you're fully invested. And then we have a high lifetime value of brand loyalty and trust. We see a lot of customers that have been with us over the 8 years, and they're the ones that have been great and loyal to us and provide us constructive feedback. And we keep listening to what they would like. So we keep building products and increase the product offering to suit them on their financial services journey, which has been great. And as our product roadmap ahead is, we continue to build broader product range of appealing for the wealth accumulators. And that's where the boomers come into it. And we've seen a lot of movement on those. So 6 ways to save with Raiz Invest. Just as a bit of a fun fact, earlier this year, around our 8th birthday, we sort of released some stats to say that we've facilitated savings and investing goals for particularly the millennials and Gen Zs to the tune of $441 million in the FY23 year. That's $441 million. That's a lot of savings and investing where, in particular, customers may not have saved, because a lot of feedback we get is, I've never saved before. And the other one was that over the 8 years, or on our 8th birthday, that was a total of 2.4 billion, a staggering 2.4 billion had been saved and invested over the 8 years. So how do you get to those numbers? The 6 ways to invest. The most popular is the automated recurring deposit. So you could set up a deposit on a daily, weekly or monthly basis, and that accounts for about 53% of our inflow. And then we have our lump sum deposits or one-offs. So, you know, we see a lot this time of year, people might get a tax check back and they'll put a lump sum of $100 or $200 or half of the tax refund into their savings and investing. And at the end of the day, you could have an online savings account, but we all know, and behaviour shows it, is that if it's online, it's very easy to transfer back to your debit or your credit card and spend it. With Raiz, it's sitting over here, it's in the equity markets. It makes people think about that instant gratification and say, do I really need to spend that money? So the lump sum one-off deposits helps a lot on that. We pioneered this concept in Australia about roundups. So what we do then there is you link your debit or your credit card to us, and we see that transaction. And then it might be for a coffee downstairs for $4.20. We will see that transaction come through. We'll round that to $5 and we'll move 80 cents. And we'll ring fence 80 cents. And as that 80 cents gets to a total of $5, we'll direct debit the bank account and put that into your Raiz portfolio of your choice. So it just chips away. You know, small amounts over time add up. The 4th way, which is our Raiz Rewards program, which I'm quite excited about, and we'll talk a bit about it a little bit later, is the cashback program to help people save money on everyday purchase. If you go into the app and you choose something like Bonds or David Jones or the Iconic, you're going to buy there anyway. So why not get the cash back? And you know, some of them range from 3 to 4 to 5%, even up to 10%. There's bonus days. And again, in this cost of living crisis or climate that we're in, every little bit adds up. And this is where small amounts add up. If it's, you might not think $4 or $5 a week is a lot, but over 52 weeks, it does. So it does help out. So Raiz Rewards is very exciting. We also have a referral program where you can introduce friends to Raiz and get a referral bonus. And then something that is important is the automatic reinvestment and distribution of dividends, which again provides that compounding effect. And it's over $130 million over the last 8 years has been reinvested for customers. And what the most important thing there is that customers have received either distributions or dividends from the ETFs or the stocks that they have never had the ability to or the opportunity to receive that before. It's absolutely amazing that over $130 million has been invested there. So how do we do this? How do we attract customers and get these deposits in? The first one is Raiz Invest, which is what I call our retail offering, where it has those 9 portfolios and away you go. And it takes about 4 or 5 minutes to complete the register, download the app, which is free from the Apple and the Google stores. And it takes about 4 or 5 minutes on average to get through the sign-up process, pass the KYC, go through the KYC process, link your bank accounts, and away you go. As I mentioned, Raiz Plus was launched in August last year, which is that next level of investing or next level of hands-on experience in a controlled environment where people can grow their financial education and experience. We have Raiz Invest Super, where employer contributions or super guarantee plus voluntary contributions can come in. It's a great little way to do it, but the best part about it is it's in the Raiz app, so you can see your Raiz Invest account, but you can also see your Raiz Super, and that's important. And the messaging out there in the community is to make sure that people are getting paid their super guarantee, and this is all in the palm of their hands, so the member or the customer can see that they are getting paid and stay on top of it. We have our Raiz Rewards program, which I spoke about. There's currently 1,400 merchants on it. I will talk a bit later about the new release in the last quarter about automated rewards, which is going to be a game changer, we believe. But then we also have our Raiz Kids program, which is a simple way to save and invest regularly for our children, dependents, or any of those under 18s. And that's very popular with our parents, grandparents, uncles, aunties, godparents, etc. So there's a way to achieve that through using all the functionality of all our ways to deposit for recurring roundups, so just to keep putting a little bit away for the future. So as I mentioned earlier on the opening slide, we have 9 retail portfolios, and I'm just trying to break it down to show what that means. Numbers 1 to 5 is the conservative, moderate conservative, through to aggressive. They're all made up or constructed with 7 ETFs quoted on the ASX. And the weighting of those same 7 ETFs vary to give us that risk profile there. The Emerald portfolio currently has 4 ETFs in it, all quoted on the ASX. And again, that was a product that was requested by our customers. The same as the Sapphire. It has the profile of the moderately aggressive portfolio, all scaled back a bit to fit the 5% of the Bitcoin in there. We have a property portfolio that has 7 ETFs quoted on the ASX and our own Australian residential property. And for risk reasons and liquidity reasons, we've capped that at a 30% allocation of your portfolio. That property portfolio currently, as you'll see in the 4C, is just agreed the purchase of its 12th property in Melbourne, and it's due to settle at the end of July, which is great. And then there's the Plus portfolio where they can customise with 49 ETFs, 99 ASX listed stocks, Bitcoin, and the Australian residential property. A few people ask why 99 and not the ASX 100, as a few of them have left the 100 or come off. So we review that. We have a voting page for our customers, or an upvoting page for our customers, to say what assets would you like to see. We take that into consideration on a quarterly basis with our investment committee. So that's how the portfolios are constructed and how they make. Now, as I've mentioned a few times, we do listen to our customers very intently. We are putting our customers at the heart of our production. And this slide just represents that over the years, we've got a proven track record of delivering for our customers. And again, with that upvoting functionality of what investment options the members would like, we released some new ETFs into the retail portfolio as well as the Plus portfolio in the Super earlier this week. And it's great to see that on social media that I think it was 8 out of 9 suggestions were taken up. So, the investment committee takes it seriously to make sure that they are the right assets in there for our retail customer offering. And and we do listen to our customers. So it's very good to continually see our customer feedback and loyalty on this sort of basis. I think the biggest thing, and one of the biggest things that got me interested in the old Acorns or the Raiz years ago, was the opportunity and the accessibility that it provides. Financial education's in the palm of their hands. I would have mates ring me and say, I've got money, what do I do with it? I've had an inheritance. What stock should I buy? Is it a BHP or a one? But they're not thinking about the whole diversity functionality or opportunity. So what we do with Raiz is we create that financial education ability, and it's hands-on, which is great. It continually provides education, and if customers want to know something, they can ask us, and we can address it in our weekly newsletter or our learning capabilities and functionality schedules that we have on social media at the moment. So it's been really good. It just really breaks down the jargon so that everyday Australians can understand it. Now that's the general overview of the business and the product offering and the product suite and where we are today. Jumping into our overall overview of our FY24 results that came out a few hours ago. Yeah, very, very, very pleased to release these results. And over the past 12 months, the team's had two significant goals we wanted to really achieve on milestones, as well as BAU and as well as continuing innovation for particularly the Australian customers, or for the Australian business and the growth of the Australian business. Those two goals was to transition the company to a cash flow positive operation, to cash flow positive business, which we'll talk about in a minute, and also divest our Southeast Asian operations, which we've managed to achieve. So just on the Australian operations, we had great revenue growth of 28.1% year on year to 5.5 million for the quarter, which was great. And that comes with steady growth of our active customers. As of yesterday, we're at 308,653 customers. It's an increase in engagement with our existing customers. And this is what I'm really pleased with the team over in particular the last quarter and the last 6 months, is getting that cross-sell functionality going. And we've seen a strong quarterly growth in our Raiz Plus accounts. So that's a 6.5% increase. Our Raiz Kids account are up 8% over the quarter. And our super customers had a great inflow period with 7.7%, leading to an overall FUM increase over the year of over 23% to 1.4 billion. So that 1.4 billion really shows that small amounts add up over time. It's great. There's been a positive trend in the Australian annualised revenue per user, and that was at 72.2 for the Q4 FY24 June end. Very excited to see the press in the last week or so that we were the number two top performing balanced superannuation fund with our moderately aggressive portfolio that returned 12.1% over the financial year 24, which was reported by Super Ratings. And then, as we see in the announcements, we've had our fourth consecutive quarter of positive operating cash flow. Now, just as a side, the operating cash flow numbers that are in there do include all our operations, including Southeast Asia. But on comments like this and through the 4C, we've got the Australian operations had 8.5 million in cash at 30 June, up 1.7 from this time last year. So all in all, with the momentum that we have, we're tracking towards a positive EBITDA, especially as you can see from the July 25 number of 308. We've got great momentum at the moment with the adjustments and redirection of our marketing and our channels and the efficiency that we're creating there for both new customers and the re-engagement of existing customers. Some visual graphs on the continued growth in the core Australian business. And as I said, we had two objectives, and one of them was to divest Southeast Asia, which did take a lot of management time to get it done right. But we continue to have Australian growth and innovation in our product offering. And just as a visual representation, you can see our active customers, our FUM, and our average account balances that have gone. The average account balances are up from 3,800 to 4,500 over the year, with customers depositing more and more with us and having a bigger and stronger relationship with our existing customers. Moving them into the Raiz Plus products, they're up 6.5% with a FUM up 8.6% quarter on quarter, and that gives FUM in the Plus portfolios of 177 million with over 30,000 accounts. The superannuation business, the accounts growth are up 7.7%, with FUM up 5.4% on the quarter to $280 million worth of FUM. And Raiz Kids is up 8%, and the FUM's up 15%, or over 15% to 44 million over the quarter. So really great to see the cross-sell and the engagement there that we're having with our existing customers, as well as bring on new customers. So we continue to focus on the customer-centric innovation. As I said at the start, you'll see that theme coming through. We listen to our customers, we respond to our customers, and the team on the support do an exceptional job to answer any questions as well as they can. One of the things that we have done this quarter was to release our automated rewards, which I referred to earlier. We currently have 15 merchants that are allowing the rewards to be automatically tracked and invested into the transaction account that is linked to Raiz. So if you have your account linked, your transaction, your debit card or your credit card linked for roundups purposes, you will also be able to get a eligible reward if that merchant's or one of those, if you spend at one of those 15 merchants. And over the first 25 days of the product being live, we've had over 4,700 eligible rewards tracked. Now that's great. It's a massive increase on our process of in-store online only, plus our in-store. So now we have online only, where you can click the link and you can see on the screenshot that you might hit the Apple button and go to the website. So we track that. So that's what we call online. There's certain merchants that have in-store. So as long as the debit card's linked to your account or you've linked it to your Raiz rewards, then you'll get the transaction on your debit card in store. And now we have this automated rewards from the transactional data that we have. So that's going to be a game changer. And I'm very, very happy to get that out in the July month. I mentioned that Plus portfolios into our super offering. It's again, customers have experienced in retail where they get to play a little bit more and get experience in their portfolio creation. They've said, well, why isn't this available in super? And we've worked very hard over the last 6 months with the trustee and the administrator to get that live, which is now great. And then again, continuing listening to our customers, we've increased our investment options in our Raiz Plus portfolios to 150. So why Raiz? And especially on the investor side, why invest in Raiz? We are the #1 leading platform here in Australia, which is highly engaging, and it listens to our customers and very scalable. We focus on the lifetime value of the customer with the way we service our customers. We listen to our customers and the product offering through the journey and the lifestyle of any individual. Again, exceptional customer experience. I think the testament to the team is the customer retentions numbers that we have had over particularly the last 6 to 12 months in this economic environment have been great. Customers are listening to us. Customers are asking questions, and the support team are really answering those questions specifically. We continue to focus on innovation. The Plus portfolio in August last year, we've done various things in the last 6 months, and including Super Plus yesterday. So continuing focusing on innovation by listening to our customers. We do have the best-in-class technology. It's all our own technology. It's all in-house, and it is definitely scalable. And as an end to the results section of it, we are on path to positive EBITDA. And if you look in the actual release and the graphs and the tables, you can see the improvement that we've had over the last 12, 24 months. So on that note, Ryan, that's the quick overview. I'll hand it back to you for any questions.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Brendan. Really appreciate the insights, and it's good to see some really positive growth out of your most recent results. Now, I've got a couple of questions to kick things off. We've got a couple of questions that have been submitted live, and there's also a couple of others, so plenty to get through this morning. Now, just to kick things off, obviously micro investing is beginning to become a fairly competitive space. From my point of view, I really want to know what gives Raiz a competitive advantage.
Good question. I think there's 2 ways I'll answer it. The first one's from the customer point of view. You know, it's a very easy, friendly app to deal with, and the fact that we've got all those other product offerings of Kids, it's Super, Raiz Invest, all in the one app. You know, there's a massive competitive advantage there. From the operational point of view, it's important to understand, and one of the bullet points at the end then was about our technology. You know, we run a lot of it ourselves. From the marketing engine at the front is all ours. It runs through our technology. So we've got the customer acquisition. We do all the operations and the management in-house. We have our own AFSL, so that's there's no costs or payaways there. And then we do all the funds administration. That includes, if you invest $5 today, at the end of the day, you'll get your daily contract. At the end of the month, you'll get a monthly statement that says your opening balance was this, deposits, withdrawals, dividends or distributions received, fees, etc., closing balance. And then at the end of the year, we provide that tax statement that you can hand straight to your tax statement. So we sort of do everything that we need to do, and we do it on our own.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate the clarification of that space. Now, obviously, you've got up on the slide now that your moderately aggressive fund was the top two performing balanced super funds. Comparatively, how are the rest of the funds performing?
Look, great. We'll put out a blog by the end of the month to say what our performance was, which we do every year.
Yep.
At the end of the day, I don't want to promote the fact that the performance is great, because at the end of the day, we are a savings and investing app.
Yeah.
But we are definitely above the benchmark. The Emerald portfolio was announced too. I'm just waiting for Super Ratings to finalise it, and also our aggressive is still top of the pile as well.
Okay. All right. That's brilliant to hear. Now, when it comes to short-term growth drivers, recently, what's been the key driver, and then moving forward, what do you continue the same aspect to be a different driver, or is there going to be a pivot, in the marketing strategy, just to increase cost acquisition and obviously overall account balances?
Yeah, look, that's a good question. I mean, I'm very happy. The growth over the last 6 months has been good. It's been modest, and it's a very hard environment out there to acquire customers, but also to ask customers to put away some money. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that think that if they put 10 or 20 or $30 into an account over here, they see that as an expense, not an investment, and it's our job to educate them on that. So it has been very difficult. So I think the steady growth that we've had in our customers over the last 6 months, we've done a lot of work, sort of from June into July, on working out our marketing channels and using a bit more of the AI processes and tools that we have at hand these days to make our marketing and targeting a lot better. And what I mean by that is I'm a big believer in making sure that the right message gets to the right customer at the right time, instead of sending blanket emails or blanket messages out, to make sure that we're getting the right person at the right time. Yeah, that might be whether it's the Raiz Kids product or the Raiz Super product or the Raiz Invest product or Raiz Rewards. It's what does Ryan need today? Well, let's make sure we put that in there. So we've spent a lot of time and effort in-house on getting that right. And I think the numbers, in particularly in July, increased from 30 June to today, is showing that that's really working well. So between that, we have a relationship with Seven West Media. So we've got Abby Holmes doing some advertising and promotion on the Raiz app as an ambassador on the AFL, the AFLW. There's some clips on the morning show which regularly appear. Even the AFL, we've got the weighting or the contra deal that we have is weighted to the second half of the AFL season, which pretty much starts now, right into the grand final in September. So with that, plus what we've done in-house for our own channels, we've tested earlier this year. We've got a relationship with Employment Hero looking at the superannuation acquisition channel, and that's working well for us. We're looking to go live with another one. So it's looking at different channels than we've done in the past, but continuing to put the right product in front of the right customer at the right time.
Of course, I appreciate that clarification. Now, last one from me is just going to be realistically, obviously, you've just demonstrated that with the, you might have to correct me here, the Raiz Investment Plus offering, where the customers can individually select what asset classes they're directly investing into. Obviously, you did just say that you've increased the number of direct equities to 150. Are there further plans to increase the volume of equities that are available, as well as different asset classes?
That does come down to our license at the first part, and it also comes down to our customers. I'm a big believer in if you have too many choices, they won't make a decision. Yeah. So we've settled on 150. We will be getting some feedback from our customers saying, well, what else would you like to see? I don't ever envisage it being the whole ASX platform, especially on the stock side. I think we'll continue to grow some more ETFs. Our customers like that, and the general basis of an ETF is that it can help with the diversification quite simply. So I think the ETF side will grow. On the ASX 99 or ASX 100 actual listed equities, I would like to see it grow, but I think the team will sit down. I think there's a very strong product roadmap on other product offerings and changes to the product that I would like to see first. Yeah,
the core focus. Okay, well, I appreciate that clarification. We'll just pivot now to some participant submitted questions. Now, the first one I've got here is, what do you see as the right size to annual cash cost base for the business?
Oh, look, these are our cash flow Appendix 4C numbers, not our financials and not our audited financials. I would like to reserve that conversation or that answer till the annual results come out in the next 30 days or by the end of August. But I think there is some further efficiencies and tightenings coming up. We can see there is still a small cash burn for the Southeast Asian operations in these group accounts or group cash flow numbers here. But I'd like to reserve that for any questions at the full year because there's some changes in place.
Of course, of course. Now, again, pivoting, is Raiz kind of planning a rise in the accounts/maintenance fee? And is there potential for this to be an annual occurrence?
Look, I'll never say never, but there is no intention right now. We put them up on the 1st of August last year with the introduction of the Plus portfolios. There's nothing in our team at the moment that we're talking about an annual increase. There might be room to move, but I think as the product develops and some of the ideas that we have as a team that what we want to bring to the product, there will be an opportunity to raise the fees, but not in the short term.
Okay, appreciate the update. Now, simple one here. What is the current customer acquisition cost?
Again, that's a number that I'll reserve for the full year results. We haven't spoken about the cost of acquisition here. It does get a bit blurry because of the non-cash expense that we have or the contract that we have with Channel 7. So we'll make sure that number is pretty clearly explained and the calculations explained in the full year results.
Okay. Speaking of Channel 7, realistically, what impact has the 7 West Media marketing campaign had on active customer growth? And realistically, would they be providing a discounted package following the expiration of the existing marketing budget?
I'll start with the second part of that. I haven't spoken to the team at 7 about anything going forward as the current contract expires towards the end of this year or December this year. The impact that it has, it's hard to say directly, but Channel 7's doing what it should be doing, and that's twofold. It's new customers and bringing new customers into the channel, and it's very hard to say, well, I saw it on TV watching the footy on a Friday night. How do I attribute to that? Whereas something like our Meta or it's a direct correlation. We can see where it came from. But Channel 7 does what it should be doing. It's giving us the new customers at the top of the funnel, but it's reminding and creating that rebrand awareness to our existing customers. And if you go through our funnel of customers, there's about 1.5 million that have downloaded the app. We have over 700,000 that have been KYC'd, and we have 308,000 active. There is a big opportunity there, and this is where the new marketing campaigns and me saying we want to get the right message to the right person. There is a massive cohort of customers there that I want to re-engage. And Channel 7, and we have seen accounts being reopened, it does create that rebrand awareness for our existing customers that may have dropped out 3 or 4 years ago when the product offering was this big, and now it's this big.
Of course, and appreciate the update in that regard. Now, obviously, Raiz, you've just recently released your superannuation product, and it's seen really strong growth numbers this quarter. What promotion activities or reasons do you attribute to this growth?
I think, look, to be honest, over the last couple of days, it is the performance. You know, the form and the fees are very reasonable and very low compared to competitors out there. But it is the ease, and going back to one of the previous questions, was having Raiz Invest and Raiz Invest Super in the same app. Customers are getting aware of it. I mean, I'm an old guy. Years ago, when I first started, I'd get a statement every 6 months, and it'd go to an old address, and I just wouldn't worry about it. But with technology these days, it's important that the young people can see their balances, and it's the ease of that. So I think there is a massive opportunity still for us to grow our superannuation business. There's been a few product changes, i.e. Plus, but also on the insurance side that we've improved, which will open the door for a lot more super customers to become part of the business.
I appreciate the update. Now we're just going to pivot now to some live submitted questions. Now the first one I've got here is per the fourth quarter results, 25 million cash flow costs of financial year 2024. How much of this was down to one-off costs from existing Southeast Asia, cost occurrences, and what additional one-off exit costs are expected in financial year 2025?
Look, that's a hard one to say on this statement. Again, it'll be a lot clearer in the annual results due out in a few weeks.
Of course.
But what we're seeing now, it's about a 200K cash burn in a quarterly basis for our Southeast Asia or our businesses up there.
Yeah.
That we put the notice out late June about the Malaysian business that is being divested, and we're just finalising those processes now. So whatever that runway is, it's a in the last quarter it was a 200K, but it is declining.
Okay. And again, just a bit of a market outlook, opinion-based question for you here. Do you think there needs to be consolidation in the market of savings/wealth management tech platforms in Australia?
I think consolidation is inevitable. There is. I mean, a lot of us out there, we've seen some good growth in our customer numbers. Some of our competitors haven't seen growth in customer numbers. It is very difficult out there in this economic environment. So I dare say that there would be consolidation in the businesses.
Okay. All right. We appreciate your updates, market insights. Now, another question here is, aside from the Seven West Media campaign, does Raiz plan to use direct social media influencers to reach a newer generation?
Influencers, as we call them. Look, it's a very hard one, whether they're licensed or not. It's a very grey area. So in short, the answer is no. We are working on a few opportunities at the moment with other businesses that are not in our space but have the same sort of customer base as us, and sort of do some cross-promotional partnership work, and they'll be announced in the next couple of weeks as well.
Of course. Now, just a statistical definition question here. How do you define active accounts when it comes to measuring, your 308,000 actors? Is it i.e., for example, if a user has a super account, a normal account, and one of their kids has an account, is that one active customer, or collectively is that treated as 3 active customers?
Nope. So the definition of an active customer is that they have an account balance that I've charged a fee for at the end of the month.
Okay.
And so, for example, and it's something that we haven't touched on, is our fee structure. If I download the app, I've had it for a month. In the second month end, and there's a balance of $100 in it, and I'm in the conservative portfolio, we'll direct debit your bank account $4.50. So you are an active customer. So that 308,000 is number of customers that we've charged a fee to. It does not include the 40,000 Raiz Kids accounts, because the kids accounts are free at the moment.
Okay. So
and then
just a question I've got in the back of that. I find it interesting that you choose to debit the bank account that it is linked to, as opposed to debiting the pre-existing funds that are invested throughout the Raiz app. Now, is that just administration-wise, it's easier, especially if the funds are obviously illiquid? Or an active choice that management is making?
Yeah, look, the funds are not. I'm not worried about liquidity in the funds because they're all ASX listed ETFs, particularly in the first 8 portfolios. So I'm not worried about that. The decision was made 8 years ago for a couple of reasons. And one of them being that if I do sell down an asset, I trigger capital gains tax.
Yeah.
So, and then again, if it was a small balance, you start with $10 or $15, and I take $4.50 out in the first month.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. So various decisions for that.
I appreciate that one. Another one here. If there has been good customer cross-sell and solid levels of client retention, then why are customer numbers only up 4% the past 12 months?
Well, so I'm not sure I quite understand the question, but the cross-sell is putting our existing customers of that 308 into other products. As in, I have a Raiz account, I have a Raiz Kids account, I have Raiz Super, and I'm using Raiz Rewards.
Yeah.
So what was the question again?
The question was, if there have been good customer cross-sell numbers in association with solid levels of client retention, then why are customer numbers only up 4% the past 12 months?
Look, as I said, it's very difficult to acquire new customers, but what we're doing is improving the product offering in line with what our existing customers want, and then cross-selling. So it's a part of our retention exercise is to make sure that we put products, our product opportunities in front of our existing customers to retain them. So there was a presentation that I did at the ASA back at the end of May, and what we saw between March 23 and March 24, our existing customers were depositing 50% more than they were in each month. So our existing customers are staying with us. It's been very hard in this environment to attract new customers.
Understandable. Appreciate the update. Just 2 more here to finish us off. What is the advertising roadmap after the AFL season finishes?
Look, we're very good on our digital marketing, on our social platforms, so that will continue. And then, as I said, the re-engagement exercises with our existing customers, I think we need to start there. You know, we haven't been good at it, I admit. We haven't focused on it, but now we are. So there is that cohort of back from 308 back up to 700,000 that have had an account with us, have been KYC and had money on the platform at some stage. How can we get them back in? But at this stage, it'll continue on the digital marketing side.
Appreciate that one. Now, when it comes to a product roadmap, realistically, what's next for Raiz?
I do want to keep a bit of that under wraps at the moment, from a competitor point of view.
Of course.
It is, the plus opportunity in both the retail side, and the super side is very strong. There is some enhancements that we want to continue on the super business. I think the Raiz rewards and the automated rewards should go very well, and there's some more interface and customer experience opportunities in the app that we can improve on. But there's some great opportunities and some great suggestions from customers about what the Raiz community can do together. So there's lots coming out. I don't want to give anything away right now, but I am dedicating more continuous and regular innovation in the app for our customers.
Well, I'm sure investors are going to really appreciate that update. Well, Brendan, that about wraps everything up. So I'd just like to thank you very much for your time and your expertise, and thank you, Raiz Invest, for the opportunity to present with ShareWise. Before we wrap things up, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, thanks for having me, for the ShareWise team, and Ryan for hosting and the questions that we've had in. The one thing I will say is we've just launched Raiz Investor Hub. So if you check that out, it's on the actual announcement. There's a link there to log up and set an account, because I do want to be a lot more clear and transparent in communicating with retail investors in particular. So if there is any further questions, pop on that. My email's on the IR email's on the bottom of this presentation. Shoot any questions through any time, we'll get back to you.
Well, again, thank you very much, Brendan, and thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Brilliant. Thanks, Ryan.